What's going on? John from Long Island punk band Wrecked. It is Wednesday, November 10th. I got some of the vinyl that I had been waiting for to do the Halloween special with, but not all of it, but I did get some of it, so we'll forget about the Halloween special and just focus on what's coming up. So yeah, I got some of it in, so I figured I'd show them, talk about them a bit. A little bit of band news. This Saturday, we're going to be playing at Mr. Beery's in Oceanside, actually East Rockaway. I consider it Oceanside is right there. Yeah, Mr. Beery's in East Rockaway. We're going to be playing with a bunch of cool bands. It's actually Sharp Violet's EP release party. Very happy that they asked us to do it. Along with them is going to be Cherry Pop, who we've played with a bunch of times, great band. Steven and Not Steves, who we've played with a bunch of times, another great band. There's a few others I can't remember, but it's going to be great. We're going to go on, I think, a little bit later, maybe around 10:30, 11 o'clock. So if you want to come check us out, come check us out. So yeah, I got some of the new stuff, and I figured I'd show it to you. First one is a limited edition single, the band Lucifer. You can see it there. It's Lucifer with a special guest singer, Ellen Larson. She's from a band, the Blue Pills or something. I think they're Swedish. Anyway, I've spoke very briefly about Lucifer. I don't have any of their full lengths on vinyl. But Lucifer's a doom metal band from I don't know, 10 years ago or so. The lead singer, Joanna Sardonis, that's her right there. She had a band called The Oath, which was a great doom band. And once I think she was dating one of the guys, they broke up, and then she formed this band, Lucifer. I've spoken about this before. Nikki Anderson from Entombed, from the Helicopters, from Imperial State Electric. If you don't know who Nikki Anderson is, check him out. He's one of the best musicians of my time. He plays drums on this, and Lucifer's full length before this. Anyways, the song they did is "Gone with the Wind is my love." It's a cover of some Canadian band, a Canadian like a Supremes type of band from back in the day. I never heard the song, but it's very good. It's like a, it translates well to the doom sound. Good harmony vocals. This girl, like I said, her name Ellen Larson. Other than that, I mean, it's got another one, Cemetery Eyes, a live version of that. Not a bad song either, but Gone with the Wind is my love. Yeah, great song. I never heard of it. Obscure band, Rita and the Tiaras or something like that. Canadian soul band. I think, along the same lines as the Supremes. I don't think they ever, hit, but very cool. Limited edition white vinyl. That was cool. So yeah, definitely a good addition to the collection. All right. Second one. This is actually a split EP, two bands, Dead Witches and Witch Throat Serpent. You gotta love this. You gotta love the cover. A little homage to Linda Blair and The Exorcist. I'm sure other rip-off movies and such. This is on Heavy Psych Sounds Records. Nothing special about the vinyl, just a standard black vinyl. Witch Throat Serpent is a French doom metal band, and I had some of their stuff. Not on vinyl, it's very expensive. But I heard some of it. It's nothing crazy, nothing groundbreaking, decent enough. However, Dead Witches, they're the real deal. They have one song on this called Dragged into Emptiness, and it's probably about 14 minutes long, and it's great. I mean, at first listen, it's just a guitar riff played heavy, and then they soften it up. And then they go to a different riff, play that heavy, soften it up. It's like a progression, but 14 minutes of just, brilliance. And they had a girl singing for them way back when, girl from the band Psychedelic Witchcraft. I forget her name, but she had sang for them. But they got another one here. It's girl Spring something or other, Spring Thompson, I think. She plays on this, and I think one of the guys from here is originally from Electric Wizard, maybe. But one, it's very incestuous. These doom metal bands. Not that many people do it. So, anyways. Yeah, this is on Heavy Psych Sounds Records. I pre-ordered this, and it didn't come in. And then the pre-order was canceled, and I just went on Bandcamp. I found it. I think the original one was in red vinyl. I got it in black. No big deal. Again, cover was really cool. I figured I had to get it. If you're into real out there doom, sludge, check out Dead Witches. They have a couple full lengths. I think I'm going to check them out because I was very impressed with it. Witch Throat Serpent, very cool album covers. Not a great band, very pretty derivative in my opinion, but again, that's my opinion. So yeah, I'm glad I finally got this one. All right. Next, all right. Next up, this isn't a new one. This is actually I got this on eBay for like $5 and free shipping. Quiet Riot's Metal Health. You see, it's a little creased. Vinyl's in great shape though. A little bit about Quiet Riot. I'm not a huge fan of them, but the reason why I bought it is because this is the band that got me into heavy metal. This came out in 1983, I think, on Pasha Records. Let's see. It was probably a subsidiary of somebody. Oh, the Pasha Records. Yeah, CBS Records. So yeah, this came out in 83. My sister had got this for Christmas that year. I remember she got a bunch of albums. She got this album, she got Pyromania, and Duran Duran's Seven and the Ragged Tiger. Pyromania is a great album. It's not a heavy metal album. It's a good hard rock album. This was, to me, was heavy metal. Metal Health, Come On Feel the Noise, Slick Black Cadillac, Love's a Bitch. I loved them all. And it was crazy, you know, because this was my first exposure to heavy metal, or what I thought was heavy metal. Because that time, you know, I'm listening to whatever my father had on, you know, and now this was like a new thing. And American metal was a new thing. I mean, you had your Judas Priest, your Iron Maiden, but you know, kids, I'm 8 years old, I didn't hear that kind of stuff. Not till after this. This American metal kind of opened the doors for the European, the English metal, and the other European metal that came in. So it was great. Carlos Cavazo right there. I saw him play with Rat as the replacement guitar player for Warren DeMartini. No, not DeMartini. For Robin Crosby. And he did a great job. I loved him. Kevin DuBro's dead. Frankie Benali's dead. That's Rudy Sarzo, who played with a bunch of guys. He played with Ozzy. And I think he's the only guy still in the band, or he just rejoined the band. Anyway, the album's forgettable. The next few are very forgettable. The early stuff with Randy Rhoads, forgettable in my opinion. I didn't really like it. But Carlos was the first dude. I saw him playing a white Flying V, a white Gibson V, and I was like, man, I got to do that. I got to get myself a V and play heavy metal. And I didn't get myself a white V. I still want one, but I did get a V eventually. So yeah, that's why I figured I'd get this again. $5 free shipping. I'm like, fuck it, you know, why not? Battle Axe, I think, was decent. Run for Cover, again, it's very forgettable, but pretty important for the course of heavy metal, American heavy metal, you know, in the 80s. All right, this is a little bit of a departure. This is band The Staves, the most recent one, Good Woman. This is on Atlantic Records. These girls are all sisters from England. Last name Stavely Taylor, I think, some shit. But very folky, very almost country-ish. The harmonies are great on this album. I mean, every song's good, but standouts to me would be this song called Failure on side B. And then Next Year, Next Time on side A. That's a good one. Best Friend's good. The song Good Woman's good. Yeah. I had never heard of these girls, and this one dude I check out on Facebook. He's part of the one of those groups we have that what are you listening to, it's called, and they just post, you know, pictures of the vinyl and their turntables, and there's one dude always posts good stuff. Now whatever I see, you know, whatever he posts is always, it's either 90s, you know, alt 90s, or 80s, you know, 80s gothic gothic 80s shit. Really cool stuff, and I never go wrong. Every time he has something I've never seen before, I check out. And this I checked out because they look like the Manson family sisters, you know, honestly. Look pretty demented, so I got it, and I love this album. They're coming to Irving Plaza in February. I got tickets for them, so if all goes off without a hitch, I should see them in February. I get a different vibe, you know. There's real, you know, the acoustic guitars, the harmonies, sort of like I like Indigo Girls without the politics, you know, that kind of thing. I like when you stack the female voices on top of each other, and they're all sisters, so they got the same DNA, so it sounds good. And it's yeah, I mean, I would suggest this album to start off with. I don't have the other stuff. I briefly you know, listened to it, but not enough. So yeah, I'm very happy with these girls, and I'm hoping to check them out in February. Like I said, I hope that doesn't get canceled. All right, here's the last one that came. This was actually the one I was waiting for, and I've been waiting for this on vinyl forever. when it came out, the album came out. I don't think they released it on vinyl, but I loved it when it came out. I was a big fan of these guys. This is Typo Negative, October Rust. This is on Run Out Groove. That's who released this. Originally on Roadrunner Records. This originally came out in 1996. Now, let me preface this by saying I was a big Typo fan from when they came out with Slow, Deep, and Hard. Back in, I think that was 90, probably 91, 92. And then they came out Bloody Kisses in '93, and that's what propelled them up to the to a new fan base and a new new status. Really, everybody loved the Bloody Kisses album. It was evil sounding, doomy. All the girls loved Peter Steele. He's a big fuck, 6'8". And when he came on stage, you just looked at me. I mean, jacked. Just fucking really crazy looking dude. And that Bloody Kisses album was pretty big for them. But they were on Roadrunner Records, and that was like the only band on there that was like, doomy and sludgy. All the other band, they had like Biohazard, Life of Agony, Sepultura. That's kind of that stuff, the death metal, the hardcore thrash metal and stuff like that. But Typo was different. And then they come up with this October Rust, and I remember getting the CD, and I was blown away by it. They didn't have any of the same characteristics of the Bloody Kisses album, and certainly not of Slow, Deep, and Hard. This was more. It was laid back. It was atmospheric. It sounded, almost like Pink Floyd, almost like the Sisters of Mercy, almost like early Ministry, Morrissey. That like gothic stuff. And I don't know what the difference was. I think what happened was they were just matured into a new band, and I saw them live a bunch of times, and sad that Peter Steele died in 2010. You never see him again. But for my money, this album, was it. This is my favorite from them. Every one they have is good, but this one really was like, holy shit, this is something special. This is a repress, so it has a story about the album and stuff. So I really wanted an original, but you can't get them for less than a couple of $100. And, for me, I just wanted it on vinyl to put it on. I think, it comes with a poster, too. Let's see. That poster there. That came with the, there's a Voodoo edition that came out a few years ago. But that's like $200. You can't get that one either. It's on orange vinyl. But very cool album. And I was, like I said, when this came out, a lot of people turned their back on it because it wasn't fast anymore, it wasn't aggressive, but it's eerie, it's creepy, and it's just great. And I'll put this up there with any album. My favorites on this would be Love You to Death, Be My Druidess, Die With Me, and what else is there? Haunted. Those are my favorite on this. They do a cover of Cinnamon Girl, the Neil Young song. I think they did it because the Summer Breeze song, the Seals and Crofts song they covered on Bloody Kisses, was a pretty big hit. So I guess, go back to the well and try it again with another song from the 70s. But Cinnamon Girl is a great song by Neil Young. I don't see the need of doing it. It was very predictable, the cover that they did on this. So that's really it. Another thing about this was when it came out, what it could not confuse me, but interested me. The drum sound on this didn't sound real. And when I say it doesn't sound real, it was like those drum patterns nobody would play. It didn't sound like anything that would. The drums don't drive this. There's a lot of keyboards, a lot of effects, synthesizer. And I found out years later that they use a drum machine. The tone of the drums sound like drums. It's not like Pantera. The tone of the drums, that kick, that heavily gated kick, the toms, the crashing snare, but it was programmed drums, so it's not, nobody's behind a kit recording it. I was amazed when I found that out. I'm like, well, that makes sense because that's what gives it its sound. Like the songs were written and then drums were added to it rather than the other way around, rather than establishing a beat and then writing songs over it. So that's what gives this its sound. Again, my favorite typo album, and sad that these guys didn't really do much after Pete Steele. I think Johnny Kelly, the drummer, he went out to playing Danzig. Kenny Hickey did something. Josh Silver, he was the keyboard player. I don't know what he did after this, but he was talented, man. And I think he did most of the the writing on this. If you know what you're talking about on this album, I think he did most of it because he was behind that keyboard and sort of like orchestrating this whole thing. So other than that, I mean, they had a few after this. They were Life is Killing Me, World Coming Down, Dead Again. And they were good albums. They just weren't as experimental as this. They weren't as deep as this. And this is a deep, deep album. Depressing. But I mean, again, that's what you were going for with Typo Negative. I don't know how or why. They toured with Pantera. They played with. I saw them like 4 or 5 times. I saw them with Static X. I mean, so just these bands that didn't make sense them pairing them with. They would have done better with like a almost like if they played with Jesus Mary Chain, it would have made more sense to me. But it was they had a real root in that gothic, almost industrial gothic sound, and still playing heavy. Peter Steele before this was in a band called Carnival, which was started off as like a hardcore punk band, then became like a crossover band. But he always did fast music, so when he slowed it down on this, it was like, wow. To me, this is what made them. October Rust, get it, check it out, put it on. Great for Halloween or even the fall because it's real, great for it being dark at fucking 4:30 in the afternoon also. So anyway, all those are the ones. Like I said, I have a few more coming that I wanted to do for that Halloween, theme, but here we are, November 10th. It's already gone. Thanksgiving's coming. Before you know, Christmas, and that's it, man. We're on to another year. So again, thank you for watching the video. Hope you get a little bit out of it. Again, come check out Wrecked this Saturday. We're gonna go on. I said probably about 10:30. Mr. Beery's East Rockaway, and then after that we have something Friday, December 3rd. It Rams out in Holbrook. Never played that room either, so that should be pretty cool. And then I think that's it for us, unless something comes up. But I think that's going to be it. And then we're going to concentrate on writing some more songs. I got some ideas and hash some stuff out, make another EP. That's the idea. So thank you for listening. Have a great night.